Hello, my name is Michael Combs, bass player, play electric, play upright. In these videos, I want to delve into options to play over a lot of different chord types. You know. Okay, so minor 7 chords, also minor 9, minor 11, minor 13, minor 6. There's a lot of options that are kind of already myelinated in the musical collective consciousness for those things, which are beautiful. Um, throw a pad on, right? C minor. You got C minor, of course. You got a minor vibe from the 5th, so G minor. Opens up the sound of it, because you get the extensions. What else you got? You got from the 2, right? Nice open. Now, yes, I played an E there, but that's okay. I won't do it again. Maybe. Right, you got a major from the flat 7, so B flat major. But that's really the same as G minor. Or is it? If I think G minor, I'm going to give more weight to the G minor-y notes. It's me, because I'm thinking in G minor. But if I use those same notes, switch thinking to B flat, I'm going to give more weight to the notes that are more B flatty. And it's going to sound more B flatty. Versus that's an important thing of what kind of key center you're thinking of. I'm thinking of minor key center, C minor, right? C minor. That's why those other choices, like the minor from the 2, it's another reason why they have a different kind of color over it. But hopefully, this is stuff that you've explored already, and that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about how I like to kind of add a little twist or something to it, So, there's the blues inflections and things, which, I love those, but I wanted something, I don't know, I was just looking for another sound, and what I found, and this is really kind of a take it or leave it situation, but I found, and this is that playing a major 7, sharp 9, sharp 11 from the flat 6 of a minor chord is a nice sound. So if we're in C minor, that's going to be A flat, major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9. Now, what I'm not doing is I'm not really relying on patterns. I'm like, those are notes. These notes, right? And it's a collection of notes, and I arrange them as musically and with as much consideration as I can. a thing I'll mention later, and I'll link the video below, is a thing called the harmonic pocket, which a keyboard player named George Whitty has a video about. Link in description, yo. So where you place the notes, like what beat and stuff, is very important. But as bass players, we do that. So, A flat major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9. Now, some of you astute folks out there might go, well, isn't that just C harmonic minor from the 6th degree? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Sure is. But what I said before about thinking in a certain tonality is going to yield different results. And if I think in C harmonic minor, it's going to come out C harmonic minor. For example, I'm forcing it a little bit, I admit, but you're going to really hear the harmonic minor thing from me if I'm thinking about it. So it's an extra step maybe of just learning, just committing it to, a choice. But if I'm thinking of the A flat, major 7, sharp 9, sharp 11, which I use on other chords, which I will talk about. I'll have videos on all kinds of chord symbols and choices, like all kinds. But just bear with me and hear me out on this one. So here's the A flat, major 7, sharp 11, a sharp 9 thing over C minor. I think it sounds a little more melodic to me, right? One thing I should mention, though, is I'll also slip back into very solid, like a C minor thing of the things I mentioned before, maybe pentatonic or a minor pentatonic tonality, right? From the 5, maybe, so G minor maybe. But I'm always going to kind of slip back into C minor after I do it. So it's not just purely superimposition, It's more just a blended thing. But I'll get into, I have some tracks set up to show you that. So let me play it again. A flat, major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9. So in C minor, so build that chord or use that sound, which is built thinking about that chord, major 7, sharp 11, from flat 6. It's a lot, I know. But I'm going to play it, and I'm going to go back into C minor, because it kind of, right? Or play C minor, go into it, go back into C minor. Right? So it's a nice thing. Second thing that I'd like to bring up is this maybe not seem as intuitive, but again, I find that I can get a little bit of a of a crunch, of some tension, and maybe a little bit of kind of the, the kind of the blues chromaticism or funky kind of slippity slappity little dipsy loos that we'll put in there. You know? So, second thing, again, I'm going to think of, and this comes from the half whole scale, the octatonic scale, the auxiliary diminished scale, the half whole scale, the half whole diminished, the whole half, whatever you want to call it, right? But there's a lot of cool information in that scale. So in the half whole scale, there are 4 dominant flat 9 chords and 4 diminished chords. If you think starting on C, right, you're gonna get C7 flat 9, E flat 7 flat 9, F sharp 7 flat 9, and A7 flat 9. You're gonna get all those, right? And it's just a cool sound anyway. You can do a whole modern thing. I mean, just playing through that, even though I like it. That's me. I like it. That's all I'm saying. Stuff I like. Bass is fun. That's it. There are actually 3 of those scales because they're symmetric, and so it works out to 3 of them. And I like to think of them starting on G, D, and A, right? Because there's 4 basically, just focus on dominant chords in that for now. Forget about the diminished stuff. We'll get into that in a whole other video. But 4 dominant chords, right? From G, it's G, B flat, D flat, and E, 4, right? From D, it's D, F, A flat, and B, right? Another 4, 8. We need 4 more to complete the chromatic scale. Start on A, you get those 4. A, C, E flat, and F sharp. I like to think of dominant flat 9 from the 2. So if we're in C minor, I'm going to be thinking of D7 flat 9. Right? But in context, and also with the same kind of thing of this is C minor, this is D7 flat 9, they're going to kind of meet and mingle. Some maybe one will stay, maybe the other, maybe it'll overlap, but I'm always going to keep the original thing in it. So you kind of get this automatic chromaticism without thinking about it. I do, right? What does that sound like? It sounds like this. Right? Again, start off in minor E, add the thing, come back into minor. Did you hear it? Right, so that adds in more of a bluesier, funkier thing. The A flat 7 adds a little more of an exotic thing, but still keeps it in, in the vernacular that I want to say it in. Now, there are 3 others in the D family of flat 9 chords, right? Why not use those? Well, that's where it gets tricky, right? If I use the A flat, which exists there, that's a little too similar to. I mean, it could, but I want there to be that distinction of the choice. So right, I'm gonna stick with the maybe use the B, right? That exists in there, but that's actually a really nice sound over C minor. But in bass world, I don't know how that translates to guitar world or I mean piano world, sure, but bass world, bass is fun. I know. All right. So let me now put the pad on, and I will. So I'll play like C minor, whatever, right? But minor, and then I'll go to the A flat, major 7 sharp 11 sharp 9. Go back to C minor. Go to the D7 flat 9. Go back to C minor, and just hear how it kind of. Hopefully, you'll hear how it kind of maybe expands the C minor color a little. Just adds a little intensity, a little tension, a little interest for me, and you'll hear it in a tune and see how it works, right? But just to kind of check out the sounds, just this is what I do. I put on a pad or I'll put on a loop thing and just examine the sounds. Right. So let me stay in the D sound in the dominant flat 9 from the 2, with the caveat being that opens up a whole other can of harmonic worms to investigate yourself. But to kind of reiterate, I found that one for me works best. Why? Good question. Because you get the minor third, you get the bluesy little tritone, you get the 9, and you get your root, you get your 13. Remember, minor 7, minor 9, minor 11, minor 13, right? Those are the important ones, right? The rest you can fill in. Right? All those devices, chromaticism, enclosures, uh, upper neighbors, lower neighbors, blah, 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 right? All that comes into play. But an important thing to remember is that notes have like a gravitational force that they'll follow, right? I mean, if you're playing in any kind of tonality. I learned this in college. Do, mi, sol, la, sol, fa, re, ti, do. And in like aural skills in theory, it's called tonicizing the key. Right? And it showed that take it a step further, like if I'm just in C major, like stop me if you know this. Like 3 wants to go to 4, right? 5 definitely wants to go to 1. Sometimes 5 wants to go to 4, but the gravity going to 1 is much stronger. 6 definitely wants to go to 5 more, but it could, it could maybe get some escape velocity happening there and make it up to the 7, but there's no escape going to 1, right? And I'm not talking about deceptive cadence. That's all, whatever. These notes want to go to the other note. And that changes, with the complexity of the harmony and and rhythm and what you hear, right? But it's something to consider. And again, it's in this harmonic pocket concept, which I claim no credit for, and the link is below for that. But that's super important to making anything work really well. Let's go back to the dominant flat 9 from the 2. Where did I get that idea? Everybody knows that. Hopefully by now everybody knows that Jocko lick, which is like, I'm going to play it slow because I can't play it fast. Right, that one, that's a half whole pattern, right? Go back to C minor world, right? Well, if we can go to flat 3 now, start the pattern there. Works really nice, right? And you could continue down and watch where you end up. A flat major. Uh-oh. Right? Why not just play A flat major? Why put the alterations in it? Remember the flat 6, the major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9? Because I want to be conscious of which tonality I'm trying to bring out. Right? If I play just A flat major over C minor, that's a C minor 7 chord. It's not what I want, right? Just like strict A flat major. Why don't I play A flat major, not G major? Hello. Now the C is always going to be good, right? Nothing wrong with it, but you start to hang on that A flat, it just gets a little too, a little too wiggly. So add in these things, the flat 9, the sharp 9 and the sharp 11. It pulls my ear, hopefully yours too, more to see the gravity thing. Right? So that's that. Another way of really hearing it without all the notes is just playing chords with those choices. Right? So slower, you kind of really hear how they fit in there nicely too. Right? So you just got, let's go to A flat. You know, there's the sharp 11, sharp 9, there's the D. But that definitely wants to go back to C more than the A flat. There's B. Right? And the last part of all that is to mix them all up, right? So you got C minor, G, whatever, right? All the C minor stuff, the straight down the pipe, C minor, with the A flat, or let me be more accurate with it. The major 7, sharp 9, sharp 11 from the flat 6 of a minor 7 chord, right? So if you were in E minor, it would be C, major 7, sharp 9, right? But we're in C minor, so it's going to be A flat. But I'm also going to mix that with the D7 flat 9 and all the other things that I like to play with that, within that, the harmonic options that the half whole tone scale brings you, right? And I like to use the B in that too. So really A flat, D, C, flat 9, maybe a little bit of B back going back to C. With a pad, and with a pad it sounds like this. And that basically is how I think about minor sevens. So let's start putting this in some musical contexts. First one will be just like a C minor funk vamp, right? So, and this isn't really about blowing either, you know, like it's not all about soloing. You know, if you take this video too seriously, you know, you'll get fired, you know, you will get fired. That's okay. Okay, so in this playing example, funk groove, I'm gonna just play bass, you know. I'll do, you know, I'm just gonna play bass. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna play bass. The fills, I'm gonna play some fills and stuff, of course, you know, are gonna be in using those things I talked about, the flat 6 major 7 and then the natural 2 dominant flat 9. And I'll just play it for a minute to kind of let it, you know, let it marinate. Here you go. Here's a 3-bar drum intro. Now we move on to the next part. Okay, so in this next part, we use the tune Footprints, Wayne Shorter tune. worth checking out. And I'm actually going to kind of jump over real quick the minor chords that are in it, C minor and F minor. And there's a little kind of a bridge thing, right? You know, the bridge. I like these changes here, which are F sharp half diminished to let me look. Right, F sharp half diminished, F7 sharp 11, E7 sharp 9 to an A7 altered. As I will address in a later video, I'm going to just play melodic minors over all those. Okay? If you want to know, for the F sharp half diminished, I'm going to play A melodic minor. For the F7 sharp 11, I'm going to play C melodic minor. For the E7 sharp 9, I'm going to play G sharp melodic minor. We'll talk about that in another video. And the A7 altered, that's right, B flat melodic minor. Don't get too caught up on that section right now. Now, for the minor chords, okay? So for the C minor, of course, I'm going to think in C minor and all the other stuff, the nice, you know, polite, in a good way, polite, C minor ideas, all the stuff that is tried and true, that is melodic and beautiful, you know. But I'm also going to throw in the flat 6 thing. So this will be A flat. This happens to be C minor, right? So I'll do the A flat major 7 with a sharp 11 and a sharp 9. And yes, that could be C harmonic minor, but it's not in my world. It's just not. It can be in yours. Whatever gets you there, you know. Then we go to the 4 chord, right? It's basically a minor blues, footprints. We go to the 4 chord, the F minor, 7, 9, 11, 13, whatever. There, I'm going to use the other option that I talked about, the dominant flat 9 from the 2. So for F minor, I'm going to do a G7 sharp 11 thing. And sorry, not G7 sharp 11. Hello. G7 flat 9 family, you got G, B flat, D flat, and E, right? I'm going to really use the G strongly. And I'm going to mix that with the F minor things, probably a little more, because I really want that. You will hear the effect. C minor, flat 6 thing. F minor, the dominant flat 9 from the 2 thing. So, and the bridge, that's all going to be melodic minor, but I'm not going to dive into that this video. Just not going to do it. Okay? Right. I have 4 choruses up, so I have a little plan, which is good to do, which is good to think about. First chorus, I'm going to play very clear ideas. You know, if you're playing with other people, that kind of helps to, I love this phrase, it's not mine, validate your existence. You know, just let people know that you're not completely out of your mind, that you have, you know, at least that's been my experience. Thank you. You know, first chorus is going to be nice and easy, give the people what they want. Second chorus, I'm going to start to sprinkle in the things, right? But I'm not going to really fully dwell on them yet. So I'll play the substitutions, if you want to call them, or superimpositions, or whatever, right? I call them choices. Play the choice, but kind of blend it back in with the original, you know, nice and easy sound. Third chorus, I'm going to stay in the choice, right? I may, you know, depending on, you know, what happens, I may slip into the original kind of given tonality. Okay, if I do that, you know, you can let me know in the comments below. And then the fourth chorus, I'm going to come back home, make it nice and easy. And that gives an arc to the solo. The plan, right? So I'm planning on 4 choruses. I have a plan for each. It's easier to use this stuff when you're not, you know, having to choose it in a moment, right? Like, think ahead a little bit, plan ahead, and it just makes life easier. In general, hello, life tip. I don't know. Let's just do it, right? Let's just do it. Just play. All this talking. All this YouTube talking. Okay, here we go. So 4 choruses. In and out. Nice and easy. Sprinkle it in. Get a little tense. Come back nice and easy. Done, right? Here we go. So in another environment that I want to look at these minor 7, 9, 11, 13 choices is 500 miles high, because you get minor chords that don't move in fourths, right? You get they move around a little bit. Plus, you have other stuff sprinkled in, so you know. Now, yes, there are more types of chords in 500 miles high than minor 7 chords. You got major 7, right? You got a half diminished. You got a E7 sharp 9, which we saw in Footprints, and I'm going to use the same choice over that, which is going to be a G sharp melodic minor. I'll go into that in another video. And then you got, at the very end, you got like a nice B7 altered, but specifically, at least in my little world here, it's B7 sharp 9 sharp 5, which is another chord type I'll get into. I may do all dominants or altered dominants. Probably easier to do that, because I could go on one chord, and we'll see how this video turns out. How much y'all want to hear it, or not. Really, I'm doing this. It doesn't matter. So I'll tell you what I am playing on the non-minor chords. So the non-minor chords in 500 mile high are B half diminished to the B half diminished to E7 sharp 9, right? So on the B half diminished, I'm thinking of D melodic minor. In this scenario, yes, I am D melodic minor. Because y'all know the 6 mode yields a half diminished chord. Okay. On the E7 sharp 9, G sharp melodic minor. It's kind of funky. And on the F sharp half diminished, I'm thinking C major 7 sharp 11. Nothing fancy, nice and easy. right? Right? Just a little different flavor. Again, in another video, I'll get into all kinds of half diminished stuff. And on the last chord of the form, blowing form, the B7 sharp 9 sharp 5, I'm really thinking of a combination of a blending of a minor 2/5 that would typically go to G. So I'm really kind of thinking of A half diminished to a D7 altered of some kind. I'm allowing more random, not random, I'm allowing more chromaticism in that point because it just sounds good over this, I think. But for the minor chords, I'm doing, I'm staying pretty much in the flat 6 category on this one. So E minor is going to be C major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9. G minor is going to be E flat, major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9. A7 is going to be F, major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9. Yeah, and that's it. Right? That's it. That's all there is. So, I got a little track. So I'll start playing. I'll just play chords. So it'll, it has drums and piano thing, but I'll just play the like tenths. We're bass players. We love tenths. I'll just play the kind of, so first chord's E minor, or I do this, E minor. But since I'm thinking of the flat 6, C, and a major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9, I'm just going to play the root and a third of that in the 10th, right? So that'll be the chord on the piano, but I'm going to play that over it, right? And it goes to G minor, I'll play E flat, etc. So, and then for the B half diminished, I'll do, since I'm thinking of D melodic minor, I'll play a D minor 10th. The E, I'll probably just go to E because it's just, you don't need to hear that as something else as a 10th for that. You don't need to hear, it's too pretty. I don't want it to be that pretty, right? The A, I'll go to F, right? Probably up here. The F sharp, playing a C major, right? Boom. C major for 2 different chords. What? You can't do that. Yes, you can. You can. It's actually easy. F minor, so that'll be a D flat, right? And the C minor will be A flat. Hey. And then the B7, I'll just play B. Something, probably that. Because that's what my hand does usually. So I'll play that, and then I'll play a bass line, just the changes. Nothing, nothing exotic there. I'll blow for 2 choruses, and I'll come out with a bass line, and then go into and just end with the tenths again to kind of, hopefully that kind of sonically is interesting, and it also is a good juxtaposition of the concepts, right? Because you can't forget to play bass. I should say that more in this video. You can't forget to play bass, because bass is fun, right? I mean, it is. I believe it. So maybe that was a lot. Maybe that was a lot. Probably was a lot. But let's recap. Things to consider, right? It's minor chords, right? It's minor chords. You got to think music. The idea of deciding beforehand, years beforehand, days beforehand, not minutes or seconds or microseconds beforehand. But that does come into play, when you internalize the stuff or really familiar with it. With the choices, what works for me is having somewhat of a plan, right? Like for basically every kind of chord type, I have options. I have, let's say, 3 or 4 options per chord, right? C minor. How many options did we talk about? G minor, right? F major or D minor, right? B flat major, which is G minor, kind of. There's 3, and then C minor. And then we have flat 6, major 7, sharp 11, sharp 9. And you also have the dominant flat 9 from the 2, right? And all those things that exist within that. So technically, that's 8 different options. You got to investigate them, like I said, put on the pad, or a loop, or a drone, or whatever you got, Piano, play a chord, something. You want to hear it against the thing. So there's a lot right there for just minor 7s. I know I didn't really talk about using this to play bass. Experiment with that too, There's so many musical situations, like that, where it'll work and where it won't work, I mean, that's the whole struggle, finding out what works and what doesn't work, right? Maybe a good place to start kind of using it is if you're walking and you have 4 bars, 8 bars of something, right? What are you gonna do, right? So if you got C minor, whatever you've learned in your life playing, just use that to play bass. This is just to kind of add to it, hopefully, discover different colors and options and tensions and choices and stuff. Well, I think with walking, tempo dictates a lot of stuff. If it's slower, stay in a harmonic pocket. Faster tempos, yeah, you can get away with a lot more. Well, I threw in both there. And in the spirit of the YouTube community, I encourage you to interact with the YouTube trinity of the like, subscribe, and notification buttons somewhere on your screen here. And also, if you have any comments, questions, or snide remarks, please leave in the comments, and I am more than happy to engage. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.